haven't done one of these in a little bit. Man, I got a long ass day today, but I'll tell you what, Mark Doty got me all gassed up for the Mellotron. Thanks, Mark Doty. Appreciate it, buddy. I was working last night and I had my headphones in and I was listening to Mark Doty's series he did on the Mellotron, however you say, Mellotron. Jello, Mellow, Mellotron, that's how I say it. And he had the Mellotron Micro. And the Mellotron Micro was so micro, but it was so cool and the sounds were so cool. I think those might be the sounds I'm looking for. I don't know, but what do you know? Here we are again, all gassed up and nowhere to go but work to make some money for this little beauty. Now I checked the used websites. You can't get this little mini thing for more than, it costs like 900. I think used $900 or new. The lowest price I saw on the internet for the Mellotron Micro was $989. And I was like, that's pricey. But when Mark Doty was playing it and he goes through all sounds, I was like, oh, Mark Doty, you got me all gassed up for a Mellotron now, baby. So I might be completely off of all synthesizers. I'm off the Muse, I'm off the Jupiter X, I'm off the Poly Brutes, I'm off the TE-05. I'm zoned in, I'm focused, I'm narrowed in on the Mellotron Micro. But I'd like to get the Big Daddy just because it's beautiful. But I don't know if there's a point to get the Big Daddy. Little Mini's got MIDI in, out, through. So maybe the Mellotron Micro might be the way to. The sound, what's up? Morning. The sound in the Mellotron was so crazy. Yeah, screw it, man. I might just go for the big one, Tommy boy. I think the big one, you know the one I'm talking about. There's the Micro, there's the Mellotron Mini, there's the Mellotron Micro, and then there's the Mellotron Big Daddy. I don't know the real name. It's like M4000D or something like that. MD4000. What's up, 3D? Yeah, okay, if you haven't watched Mark Doty's Mellotron series, I think he's got like 20 videos on the Micro. He just picked it up. It's just under $1,000. And this thing sounds so friggin' awesome. I don't know why. I think it's because I kind of dig the lo-fi sounds a little bit. I like he was saying in his video why it's got this crazy, it's got this nostalgialistic frequency because it was all recorded with samples back in the day on cassette or tape, whatever you want to call it. And then that's been resampled and put into these digital Mellotrons, which, I mean, if you want an old Mellotron, like he was saying, it's so crazy the amount of upkeep you got to do and maintenance, and then also the hassle, but you get the sound. But he was like, man, this little Micro, you got 2 octaves, I think, to play with. You might have 4 octaves on the big one. Correct me if I'm wrong. What does the Big Daddy Mellotron have? Does the Big Daddy Mellotron have a 4 octave spread? If you went MIDI, because you can MIDI. What's up, Kicks? Yeah. So the Big Daddy Mellotron is gorgeous. I don't know. There's just something pretty about that. I don't know what's under the hood, because if they can pack all that into the Micro, then, you know, I don't know what's under the hood of the big one. I need to look into it. But the big one is probably well over $2,500. The Mini, yeah, okay, this is what he was saying. You can get the Mellotron VST, is what he was saying. You can get some synthesizers that have Mellotron sounds. But he said that the actual Micro Mini, or whatever the other one's called, the Big Daddy, that the sound is different. All right, he was saying they've got 8 seconds of sampled sound per instrument, per note. So it's just massively packed with insane sound, right? It's like almost dead on original, he said. Now, I don't know, maybe you can get a VST. What VST would you guys recommend for a Mellotron style sound? Because if you're an audiophile, he was saying you can tell the difference. He was like, I can tell the difference. Like if you put on a Mellotron choir patch on the actual Mellotron, he's like, I know what it is. And if you use that in a sound score or something, he's like, I can tell. Now, I don't know, man. You got to have pretty damn good ears to do that. But Arturia? I don't know, man. But you know me, man. I'm not a VST virgin. I'm not into it. I don't like the VSTs. That's just the way it is for me. I don't want a friggin' VST. I want the white beauty. I want the micro, baby. The micro will fit perfectly on my Hydra-synth. Nord Wave? I like the Nord Wave too, actually. I've been looking at that as well. I've been looking at the Nord Wave too. I won't lie. Low-key looking at the Nord Wave too. All right, so let's go through the gas list. At the top of the list now is the Mellotron Micro, Mini, or Big Daddy. Big Daddy preferably, but I don't think it's worth that kind of money unless you're going for Mellotron clout. So Mellotron Micro is probably the way to go at $900. I can scratch it. I can scratch it together. Just got to sell a few more t-shirts. I can get it, man. I can get the money for the Mellotron. But the other on the gas list, we got the Moog Muse, out of reach. Polybrute 12, out of reach. Jupiter X, out of reach. Quantum, Waldorf, Mark 1, out of reach. TE-05, very close to in reach. All right. Mellotron, I can get it tonight. If I pool together, get rid of some cryptocurrency, pool together some funds, sell a couple more t-shirts, I think I can get the Mellotron, baby. I already know what I'm going to do with it. I already have a whole plan of what I would do with that Mellotron. Because I can make this... See, I want to make this kind of like flowing story and this narrative with all the synthesizers as I do in the jams. I posted a couple jams from the vault last night. Go check them out if you don't know my style. But I can do a flow where we exit the spaceship, intergalactic, we land on this planet, and then as we land on this planet, the Sonicware Ambient Zero starts to cut in with the drone. And then the Mellotron cuts in, and now we're inside some horror story on this backwater planet. I enter this this vampiric church where they're singing through this Mellotron choir, this dark choir, this kind of little bit off out of tune, lo-fi. And as I'm in the church choir, the dark pastor suddenly, like, the lights flicker. Out on, come back in. The pastor has like fangs. I look around. The whole congregation is suddenly turned into vampires, and I gotta break out my samurai sword and start going to town on these vamps. You know, the actual pastor looked like Echo Craft. Okay, that's what I got envisioned with the Mellotron. The narrative: we blast off into space. All the synthesizers are singing. We got them coming in and out. You know, we bring the ship down. We land. In comes the Ambient Zero with the drone. Then comes the Mellotron with the choir and the violins. And visually, you picture Echo Craft up on the stage. The dark pastor, okay? Lights flicker. Suddenly Echo's back, even paler. Vampire fangs, all black. I look over. Everybody's looking at me with this bloodlust hunger. Whew. That's how I'm picturing using the Mellotron. Only question is, do I go for Mellotron VST? 99%, no thank you. Do I go for Mellotron Micro? $900? Or do I go for the clout and go for the Mellotron Big Daddy? That's what I'm wrestling with. That's what I need your guys' help with. But once again, it's just another thing on the gas list. Thank you, Mark Doty, for those videos. Really appreciate it. You got me fired up for the Mellotron. I wrote Echo. Echo said, you don't need no Mellotron, brother. I wrote Synthpunk. Synthpunk says, get everything you want. Go down the dark rabbit hole of acquiring synthesizers and end up just being buried under electronic equipment to the point where you suffocate, and then you just get rid of everything, and then all you're left with is a Mini-Log Model D, or sorry, a Mini-Moog Model D, a mini boob I call it, a mini boob, because you got to be a boob to buy a Model D for $5,000. The mini boob, and the Goth Rev 2, the Goth synthesizer, the Dave Smith Rev 2, and his what has he got? A Sledge keyboard. That's all he's left with. I ain't being left with 3 keyboards. I'll tell you that right now. I'm building the spaceship from the ground up. Budget for the Mellotron. Mellotron has an impressive look and immediate hands-on. Yeah, man. Synthpunk knows your heart decides. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I told Synthpunk yesterday he was trying to drop the the old man wisdom on me, and I was like, listen, brother. Let me tell you something right now. You don't measure a man's age in years. You measure a man's age in experience. A 20-year-old man and have gone through 15 to 16 lifetimes of experience as a 70-year-old man who's had 0. Okay, so all the respect in the world to Synthpunk and his wisdom. But don't get it twisted, baby. The samurai's about 30,000 years old, my friend. And I know that the Mellotron is needed in my spaceship. I can't truly blast off until I get that little white beauty into the spaceship. Now, you know I want the Cream Dream Polyboot 12. I got a t-shirt, Cream Dream, if you want to check it out on the website. But the Cream Dream is kind of where I really think I want, more than the Muse. But the Mellotron, man, I don't know. What would you guys get? Would you get... I'm gassing on the Mellotron, man. The Mellotron Micro. Mark Doty did a series yesterday for everyone who just got here. The Mellotron Micro, Mellotron Mini, Mellotron Big Daddy. I can't remember the numbers in the name. But I prefer the Big Daddy, just for clout. The Mini is very gorgeous. But, man, the Micro's all you need because it's got MIDI, right? So, I'm gassing for the Micro. The Mellotron Micro. Something about those sounds make me feel something. But am I willing to give up the TE-05 for the Mellotron Micro? That's the question. You know what I almost did last night? I took my credit card out, or my bank card, sorry, and is the Mellotron not like a sampler? You can put Mellotron samples on the mob. Yeah, I know everyone says I can put the samples, but everybody says that the Mellotron actual samples, there's nothing like it. That's what everybody's saying. I don't know if they're selling me wolf tickets or it's fact, but everybody's saying that the Mellotron Micro, Mini, and Big Daddy, the sound is different. It's a different sound. It's alive. Where apparently every other sample you put on every other device isn't alive. It doesn't have the same vibe. That's what I looked into. That's what I read. You guys let me know. Am I an enthusiast? Bro, what do you think? Am I enthusiastic? Then I am enthusiast. Of course I'm enthusiast. Am I Mellotron enthusiast, man? I don't know. Dude, listen, I'm a synth baby. I told you that. I'm a synth baby. I'm just, you know what it's like? I'm like a little baby walking through the vegetable garden for the first time. And I grab a little tomato. A little cherry tomato, and I pop it in my mouth, and I make that sour face, and I'm like, wow! And then I go over to the other plant, and I grab a jalapeno, and I chew on that, and I'm like, whoo-hoo! That's spicy! Okay? And then I go over and grab a cucumber out of the patch, and I start eating that, and I'm like, nah, this is feels very hydrating, but it's not delicious as a baby, okay? And then I go over and I pick up a flower and I eat that, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's what I am. I'm a synth baby. I'm a little baby walking through the synth vegetable garden. Okay, the synth garden. And I'm trying to get a little taste of everything. And I want to taste the Mellotron. Up close and personal. And there's nowhere in this damn New England that I can go try one of these beauties. So I'm just going to have to cough up the cash and go buy it. For $989, brand new, right off of Reverb, right to my door. I think I'm gonna do it. Maybe you guys can try and stop me. I don't know. But as of today, right now, I'm 10 minutes to midnight from copping that Mellotron Micro. Because I can't get the Big Daddy. I can't afford it. Am I the only one who can't afford anything? When I turn on the friggin' internet, everybody's got everything. I don't understand it. I drive the road, dude man there's got an RV, he's got a boat, he's got a quad, he's got a Sea-Doo, he's got a Ski-Doo. He's got a giant house, and I'm like, what's going on here? Am I doing something wrong? Then I drive down the street, another guy got it, another guy got it, another guy got it, another guy got it. I'm like, what, is everybody rich? Turn on the internet, type in synthesizers into YouTube, boom, what do we pull up? Pull up a dude who's got the Moog Muse, got the Polybrute, got the Moog 1, got the Jupiter X, got the Juno X, got the Hydrasynth, got the Op 6. He's got everything. And I'm like, what the frig is going on here? Am I doing something wrong? And then I just say to myself, just relax, little baby. Chill out. You can't get it all at once. So just keep your gas meter high, and eventually you will acquire your synthesizers. And your spaceship will slowly build. Speaking of that, I believe tonight at around 8 p.m. I will be doing the final Knight Rider live stream. So if you guys want to tune in on the way back from my last class tonight before I got to write the test, I'll be doing a Knight Rider radio dish live stream on the way home. And then when I get home, I'm actually thinking about going up into the spaceship, doing a little news breakdown. Got a couple things I want to talk about, and then I might just hit a jam and just jam out so I can see where I can put that Mellotron in. So, if you guys want to try and stop me from getting that Mellotron, go ahead. Echo tried, Synthpunk tried to reverse psychology me. The Junkyard Dog's back. What's up, Synthpunk? The Junkyard Dog. Yeah, I was just telling everybody how you tried to shame me into not getting the Mellotron last night. With that Gen X synth wisdom you tried to throw me. Echo Crafty we'll call him. He tried to stop me from getting the Mellotron too. He said, you don't need that, bro. I'm like, listen, I do need it. I need the Mellotron. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Mark Doty's video is awesome, dude. Super sweet breakdown of the Mellotron. Got me all gassed up. I'm getting the TO5 too. Let's just put it on the table so we don't have to really debate it anymore. I'm getting the TEO5, okay? I just think that size-wise, sound-wise, space-wise, it fits into my setup nice and sweet. The Mellotron Micro fits in nice and sweet, although the Mellotron Micro, as far as a synthesizer, it don't look very manly, you know what I mean? The Mellotron Big Daddy looks manly, and I think I would put the Mellotron, because I told you I'm building an alternate setup in the house, an alternate spacecraft, where I'm going to be putting certain synthesizers, and I feel like the Mellotron Big Daddy might suit that little area very well, because I want to get into some horror style narrative synth things. So you figure it out, you let me know. I don't know, I think I'm getting it, we'll see. But yeah, right now I'm gassed up over the Mellotron, and it just sounds amazing. When I hear the Mellotron sounds, my chest hair starts to sizzle. Okay? Everybody talks about the analog sizzle. Listen, when I hear Mellotron, my chest hair starts sizzling, and I look around to see if Hans Volt is near me, because Hans Volt got so much sizzle going on in the studio. He played me an Oberheim expander video the other day. He played a patch, and dude, so much sizzle came out of that, my phone started smoking. So, like I said, when I hear the Mellotron, man, my chest hair starts sizzling, It almost catches fire because the electricity of the sound coming through my phone, bear in mind, phone to headphones to my cochlea, to my brain, the Mellotron is insane. Anyways, I gotta VST in a box. I don't care. As long as it's not a VST in a computer, I'm cool with it. I love VSTs in boxes. I actually think my favorite type of synthesizers are VSTs in boxes. That's what I think. That's what I'm coming to realize. Because the Hydrasynth is epic. It's the most epic synthesizer ever made in the history of planet Earth, and it gets no love because it's pure Chinese, unabashedly Chinese, and it don't get no love from the Europeans and the Americans. But I'll tell you what, as a man of the universe, I give the ASM Hydrasynth full love. Okay? The best synthesizer on the planet. And if Behringer got anything in mind, clone the Hydrasynth. But it'd be hard to bring it out for cheaper because the Hydrasynth already comes in at an epic price, an insane build quality, and crazy sound. And the only thing I wish I could do is have the Hydrasynth have the Mellotron patches built in, and that's all I got, because I got to get to the Saltmon, baby, and cough up some cheese so I can get that Mellotron.